Hey, what's up, guys? Dre5Ds here, coming at you again with another Black Lightning video. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 6. So I just want to start out by saying, man, that end fight sequence between Nissa and Jefferson, that was crazy. I have to say, that was probably one of the best fight scenes that we've had during the whole show. Like, that scene was, like, so crazy. Like, I was literally watching it with my mouth open just in excitement because we just haven't had like a good fight scene like this on the show since it's started. Like, we've had some pretty good fight scenes like last 2 weeks ago, but this one definitely topped it by far, in my opinion, because it was just so good. Like, it was just so, you know surprising, because we as the audience knew that that was Nissa, and it was just fun watching it, knowing that it's father against daughter. They don't know who each other is, but the mom has to sit there in pain and agony, just watching all this go down without able to say anything or stop anything. And man, let me just say, Nizza can. I think she can really take on Black Lightning. Like, I mean, did you guys see her like absorbing electricity, and like she was able to get a couple of hits in. Granted, Black Lightning, Jefferson, he's pretty old. He's pretty much an older superhero, but man, she was definitely getting it in. Like, she can definitely hold her own. And it was just so sad, seeing when Jefferson finally realized at the end that it was Nissa the whole time, and just you can just feel and see like the disappointment and like the heartbreak on his face that he did that to his daughter. Obviously, he's gonna win because he's more advanced and more experienced and that type of thing. But didn't Nissa? I can't wait to see what else she does in the future, because she was definitely holding her own against Black Lightning, and that was probably, I can't wait to see what more fights that we're gonna have, because that was definitely the best fight scene we've had all season so far. But now everybody knows, except for Jennifer, like what Nissa's doing, who Black Lightning is, and I definitely cannot wait to see what's going to happen down the road. Probably next episode, or maybe episode 8. She'll probably get her suit from Gamby, since, he knows too, and she definitely wants to go out there and fight with Jefferson. We got the promos next week showing that her saying that, she wants to go out there and like have Jefferson teach her. And we didn't see Nissa out there fighting yet. They're probably saving that for next week, but I definitely can't wait to see her, out there in the field with Jefferson, taking down the 100s gang and Tobias and everything. And I definitely feel like there's gonna be some pull and tug with her mother and Jefferson, and Nissa wanting to go out there, because the mother in tonight's episode was already pretty much against, well, throughout the whole season she was pretty much against Jefferson going out there and being Black Lightning. And towards the end, she had that little monologue saying that she was pretty much accepting who he is now. And but I feel like it's going to be a different situation with Nissa, because that's her daughter, and she already has the father of her children going out there every night risking his life. She probably doesn't want Nissa to do the same thing, because that'll be definitely too much for her. But I feel like obviously Nissa's gonna go out there, be a hero anyway. But there's definitely gonna be some pull and tug from Nissa and her parents. Jefferson might not even be on board with it either. So either she's probably gonna be going out on her own still, and there's probably going to be some friction between their parents, or eventually they're probably going to be accepting of it, and letting Jefferson probably going to let her go on patrol with him and everything. But I definitely feel like there's going to be some pull and tug and some friction and some tension, bringing up the subject of her going out there and being a hero and stuff. Another thing I want to bring up, as we saw tonight, we saw Khalil again tonight, and as I said earlier in some videos, I feel like he was just kind of too perfect. He was like the perfect student. Like, he even said in this episode, he doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs. We found out his sob story with his mother and his brother in jail and everything. I always had my suspicions of him being, too perfect. But as we see in this episode tonight, he was kind of like a jerk to Jennifer, posting those hurtful comments on social media, and actually being a jerk to her when she came to see him again in the episode. And at first, when I was watching, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy is definitely Too good to be true. I was right. He's not a good guy. But towards the end of the episode, when we saw him with Tobias Harris, I mean not Tobias Harris, Tobias Well, we I was starting to think that maybe he's actually acting that way towards Jennifer to push her away to keep her safe because Khalil, he's obviously probably a smart kid and he probably knows who Tobias Will is and like what he does. He can since he's been obvious since it seems like he's been like hanging around him, he's probably figured out like who this guy really is, and he probably is acting that way to push Jennifer away to keep her safe. And that's the one conclusion I came up with because I can't really see him, just acting that way just for really no good reason when he was like all into her before. Granted, like Jefferson said, it could be, the pain that he's feeling, or it could be how he truly is. We don't really know yet, but I'm kind of on the latter of things where he might actually be still good. He still might actually be good, but he's probably just pushing Jennifer away just to keep her safe and keep her away from Tobias Whale. And speaking of Tobias Whale, we found out that he can probably help Khalil walk again, which I don't know how that's really gonna work. It's probably gonna factor into the experiments that was happening to those kids all those years ago. I feel like probably there's gonna be some experiment worked on Khalil to make him walk again, and he's probably gonna have like either strength or some type of powers. And I wonder if he's gonna become like either a villain or maybe even a hero. Maybe he'll start out as a villain working on the Tobias Whale and maybe figure out like what he's doing is wrong and he's probably going to go to the good side of things. I don't know, I'm just speculating at this point, but I definitely want to see how that's going to work out with him having powers and everything because like I said in another video before, he's not the guy who's playing Khalil. He's not like a top actor, but he's definitely has some experience. And by them casting him, I always felt like there has to be more to his story than just being like a boyfriend. And clearly we are seeing that unfold right now. So I definitely want to see how that's going to continue to go. Definitely want to know like what kind of powers he's going to have and how that's going to affect him and his relationship with Jennifer when she finds out that he's walking again, and what that entails with him working with Tobias Well. So I also want to shout out Benny Boom. When I was watching the episode in the beginning of the credits, they show directed by Benny Boom, which I recognize from doing like a lot of music videos in the past. I can't think of exactly what music videos that he's directed, but I definitely remember seeing his name years ago directing music videos. And I just want to say like he did a really good job with there's one scene where Nissa got arrested and Jefferson was telling her like, hey, you need to choose your battles. You shouldn't, going out there risking your life for something you could have avoided easily. And after he says that, Nissa and Jennifer walk off and the camera pans to a mirror in the hallway looking right at Jefferson, basically saying that, hey, you're basically saying you should listen to the advice that you're giving to Nissa. You should listen to yourself. Going back to the episode from 2 weeks ago, episode 5, where he didn't actually have to fight Tobias Wells, lackey. I can't remember his name, but he didn't actually have to fight him. He could have avoided the fight and avoided him getting hurt. But the fact that he's telling Nissa that, and the camera pans to him looking himself in the mirror, that was Jefferson, realizing that, hey, I'm telling her this, but that advice also relates to me too. Like I probably didn't even have to go out there and fight that guy a couple of weeks ago to get hurt even more. There's some fights that I can always avoid instead of doing my impulse and fighting that person right then and there. I just wanted to point that out, and I thought that was like a really good camera work and really good choice by the director to do that. So one thing I definitely want to quickly mention is talk about Gamby. As we seen at the in the episode that he was talking with Jill Scott's character, I can't remember her name, but he was talking with her, and we get to see that he was working with her at some point, as it seems like, and he made some type of deal to leave the Pierce family safe. And I definitely want to know like what is Gamby's deal. We've gotten hints of him maybe doing some shady stuff before, when a couple episodes back when him and Tobias were talking, and obviously him knowing Tobias is alive and not telling Jefferson about him. And I definitely want to know like what's going on with Gamby. As Jill Scott's character said, if he releases Tobias Harris's information in his past, his Gamby's dirty laundry will also be aired out too. And us as an audience, we want to know like what is that, like what's going on with Gamby. Obviously, I don't think that he's a bad person. He's helping Jefferson out and everything, and he could have obviously been out at Jefferson as Black Lightning all this time. So I don't believe he's like a bad character or a bad or a villain per se. But he's obviously hiding something, and I definitely want to know like what exactly is he hiding, and like what is his past relations with Tobias Harris and the 100 gang and everything, because he's definitely involved in some way or another. So I just want to say thank you again for watching my video. I really appreciate it. If you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe, and leave comments down below of what you think of the episode as well. And until then, I will catch you guys later.